I mean, I was told by my film professor, there are films and there are movies. And sometimes you've got to know what you're walking into.
Yeah. See, but I come from a time when movies were films.
For some reason, it feels like it's been forever since I sat down and actually recorded a full podcast episode, even though it was just last week. But, whatever. Time flies a little bit weird when you hit December. So here we are. Once again, another month of movies and movie watching has come to an end. So the very kind of boring, homework chore podcast episode I have to do every month is me saying, hey, I watched all these films. Are they good? Are they bad? Should you watch them so you stay away from them? That's why I'm here. I watched about 33 films in the month of November. I'm still slowly on the pace for 365 films in the year of 2024, and we're still on pretty good track for that. I'm in December right now, the final month of the year, and I only need to watch about 45 films, which is definitely very attainable. We've done that before. I can do it again. I think it would actually be my highest month ever, but I think if I lock in, I can definitely get the job done. In December, I'm actually going to be revisiting the Infinity Saga for the MCU, so it's going to be a very fun little trip down memory lane. So, I'm very happy to get into that and just happy to start watching some more films as always, but still, until then, got to get through this thing here. So 33 films in November, a pretty fun month, pretty solid month for quality and everything. Just playing some catch up here. I watched 3 over the days in the actual month of the year, so definitely did cut down into my, debt of films that I'd have to watch for the year. And if you want to follow along and kind of have, like a hard copy of everything I saw this month in November, then my letterbox will be down there below in the show notes. You can go there and just kind of click there and just see all the films there that I saw in the entire year even. So yeah, there you go. If you want to know what it was, and you can go see down there, and it's going to be pretty cool. So starting off here in the first day of the month, it was a pretty good film that I definitely really enjoyed. And that first film I'm referring to is Dream Scenario from A24. This movie also stars Nicolas Cage. This film is actually very good. It's a very good movie. Came out last year, 2023. I heard good things about it. It wasn't getting a lot of big major buzz, but it definitely is one of my more favorite films from A24, and also from Nick Cage. A very cool and crazy and very creepy plot here that is filled with so much great things that's doing all very, very well. And I actually want to watch it again tonight. If I really can, I might squeeze it in because the film is definitely very good. So Dream Scenario 2023 is definitely worth your time. Definitely go watch it. And then a couple days later, I watched Moon, which came out in 2009. I've been very obsessed with space everything recently. And Moon 2009, directed by Duncan Jones, starring Sam Rockwell in the main role there, is pretty cool. It's also kind of confusing, but I was kind of expecting a little bit more. This film gets hyped up a lot, I see, in the film nerd space like myself, so it was a cool one to watch, but definitely still I had a little bit more high hopes for. And then the day after that, I watched Red Dawn, which came out in 2012, and Red Dawn is one of my favorite films of all time, and also it's kind of about, not really Civil War, but it's about America being at war inside of America, so definitely not related to anything at all that happened in November. And then also the next day, I watched an A24 documentary called This Place Rules, which is a documentary about the January 6th insurrection thing that happened a couple years back, which was definitely, for obvious reasons, it was a pretty fun documentary to watch on election night, and definitely a very good one as well. It's kind of hard to rate A24 documentary films, but this one is very cool, a very cool documentary. I definitely recommend it, and it's a whole lot of fun. So Red Dawn, recommend it. This Place Rules, also recommend it. Red Dawn is actually not even that good of a movie, but just for me, my childhood's in this one, so definitely gotta love it a lot more. And then on the 7th of November, once again, following this trend of watching films for no reason at all, I watched Civil War, which came out Civil War came out this year, earlier the year. I completely forgot about that. We did a full podcast review on this one, but if you didn't listen to that one, definitely recommend it. But still, Civil War is a great movie. Definitely love it a lot. It isn't exactly a Civil War film, which is okay, but it was definitely a really cool one to watch again. I definitely love it a whole lot more even now. Then the next day after that, I watched Uptown Girls. This one released in 2003. Which was definitely a very sad movie, which I wasn't really expecting at all. Stars Brittany Murphy and Dakota Fanning, and I cried. I'm not sure why, but it was definitely just very good, a very solid movie, very solid screenplay, very great acting. Was definitely the biggest surprise of the entire month by a long shot. And then that same day, after watching Uptown Girls, I watched Sicario from Denis Villeneuve. Definitely the entire exact same genre there. One's Uptown Girls, one is a drug cartel Sicario film with a great stack of cast and a great director as well. Sicario and just Denis Villeneuve as a whole is just incredible. Denis Villeneuve has not missed, like, in a long time. I guess the only movie from him that I don't like is Enemy, but Enemy, people still love that movie a whole lot. And Sicario, no different, is just an incredible 1-2 place inside of his filmography. I mean, he's just on an absolute generational run right now with Incendies, Enemy, Sicario, Prisoners, Arrival, Blade Runner 2049, Dune Part 1, Dune Part 2, then Dune Messiah coming out in a couple years here. He's on just an incredible run. I have so much love and respect for this guy. He's just an absolute GOAT. He's in my Mount Rushmore of directors for sure, not even a question. But Sicario, it's great. 9 out of 10. Definitely watch it if you haven't already for some reason. Then a couple days later, I watched Anora in theaters. My first trip to the theater was for Anora, from the incredible director who did a lot of great things in his past. And this one is definitely also a very good movie. But Sean Baker hit incredibly well with Anora. He just is on a great run as well. I've only seen the Florida project from him, but I heard that the other one he did called Red Rocket was also really good. Also, Mickey Madison's on a generational run as well. This movie is very good. There's definitely going to be a big list of films to have on your radar for Oscar season. This is a top 3, top 5 film to have on your radar for sure, because Anora is just that good. Mickey Madison is definitely a frontrunner for Best Leading Actress, and one you definitely need to watch as soon as possible. I'm not sure if Anora is still in theaters. It was a very small film, which definitely probably didn't make that much money. So you may be able to stream it by the time you're hearing this, but it's definitely worth it. Rent it, find a way to your nearest theater, watch Anora. It's definitely worth it. Like I said, as we go into award season next year, we're going to be hearing the same 5 films everywhere. Anora, Dune Part 2, Civil War. This is going to be the same exact films over and over again. So watch Anora. It's definitely going to be one of those high priority films you have to watch as soon as possible. And then on that same day, came home and I watched Midnight in Paris, which stars Owen Wilson. Heard a lot of great buzz about this one too. And Midnight in Paris, directed by Woody Allen as well, is a very cool concept. I get the vibe of the film that's going for, but Midnight in Paris, it doesn't really hit for me. It doesn't do it right in my opinion, and definitely left a lot to be desired. And on paper, just hearing the plot of Midnight in Paris, it should be at least 9 or 10 out of 10. For some people, it may be that, but for me, it's unfortunately not, and I wish it was, but maybe on a revisit, on a rewatch, I might change my mind a little bit. Hopefully, that's the case. And then took a little bit of a few-day break here, and I came back to watch Matilda, which is a cult classic. It's a perfect movie. Well, maybe not perfect, but still, it's a great movie. Matilda, you know it, you love it. I love this one a whole lot, and just everything about it. The acting, the soundtrack, the vibes, all the incredible funny moments. It's a great movie. Definitely a pinnacle of my childhood for sure, and one that I love a whole lot once again. Then that same day, I watched a little quick one called Anima from Paul Thomas Anderson. A quick little short film, just a few minutes long. It's a cool little music video for Radiohead, which is definitely a whole lot of fun. And also, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. He's been on my Mount Rushmore as well. He's kind of creeping up to the top 4 right now. So yeah, I love anything with his name attached to it. He's doing a great bit of fun for me. So that one, definitely very cool. Anima is obviously kind of fun. And Matilda, you already know, definitely recommend it. Watch it as soon as you can. And then still pushing along slowly here, I watched Everybody Wants Some from 2016. This one comes from the great, the wonderful Richard Linklater. Also stars a lot of great, incredible actors, specifically Glenn Powell. This is one of his early ones that got him on the map a little bit here. Obviously, when we go into movies like Top Gun Maverick, that was really the movie that did it for him. But one of the early works from him was definitely Everybody Wants Some. It's a great movie. If you've ever seen Days of Confused, that was the one he did. It's like that, but a little bit different, but the same vibes are all over the movie. The plot is just, hey, let's chill, party, play baseball, drink some beer. What more do you need out of a movie? That's all it is. It feels like an entire vibe, and I love it a whole lot. Definitely can rewatch it every day, rest of my life, wouldn't even care. Then on the 15th, I watched, I think, my 300th movie, which was E.T., 5 stars, 5 out of 5. You already know. Nothing else need to be said. Definitely watch it. Not sure what you're doing. The 15th as well, I watched Sinister, which is a horror film that I've been meaning to watch for a long time now, and I'm happy I finally did. Sinister, whole ton of fun, whole lot of great spooks, and definitely one of my more personal favorite ones out there. And also, if you know me, you know I love this actor, Ethan Hawke. If he's attached to anything, I'm all here for it. And also, once again, the spooky vibes are there. It's incredible. I love it. The film's great. The film's awesome. Love it a whole ton. Then about 3 days later, I rewatched Batman Mask of the Phantasm, which was, if you know me, like I said, it's a 9 out of 10. Mask of the Phantasm, easily a top 5 Batman movie, I'd say, for right now. Great one. Obviously, it's a good one. Whole lot of fun. Mask of the Phantasm, very good as everything right. If you haven't seen it already, watch it. What are you doing? I really don't know. Then the day after that, I watched War Dog, A Soldier's Best Friend. This is a documentary that's on Max at the moment. This one is very cool. Well, sorry, not very cool, very sad documentary. I don't watch a lot of documentaries, so trying to just kind of edge them in as much as I can these days. And this one is very sad, just about dogs in the military, and some of them died, some of them didn't. A very tragic story, documentary. I apologize. Great one if you want to cry. So yeah, definitely go watch that one. A whole lot of pain and sadness to watch, but definitely one that's worth it. And then it seems like that same day on the 19th, I watched Shark Tale 2004. This movie is trash. It's terrible, but yet I still love it. Will Smith is easily incredible. Martin Scorsese in a voice acting role also is very fun as well. Also Robert De Niro, he kills it. Jack Black also kills it. The movie isn't, I guess, good, but still, it's a whole lot of fun. Unbearable amount of fun that's trash, but yet it's delicious garbage, so I love it even more. And then that next day after Shark Tale is a very great film. I still need a bit of a palate cleanser, so I watched Autumn Sonata from the great, the wonderful Ingmar Bergman. Did I say that right? I don't know if I did. Let's check one more time. It's Ingmar Bergman. I said it right. Okay, sorry. But Autumn Sonata is one of the best films I've ever seen in my entire life. Just two of the best performances on screen ever with Ingrid Bergman, also Liv Ullmann. This one just hits. The screenplay is just there. The acting's there. The cinematography's there. The vibes are all there as well. I've only seen a few movies from Ingmar Bergman, but he is just cooking so immensely hard from what I've seen. Also, 1978. This sweeps most films I've seen this year. Easily, not even close. This one is just very special. I love watching these older directors like Akira Kurosawa, Ingmar Bergman, list goes on. A lot of older directors are really good. But watching older directors, seeing them just kind of make a great film effortlessly is just so impressive. And yet I look around today and we're getting another How to Train Your Dragon film in live action and another Harry Potter remake. Just feels like a distasteful disgrace to cinema. When we have films like Autumn Sonata and Taxi Driver, seeing that they're doing another one of the Incredibles films is just sad to see that. But we still have this old cinema out there that's really good, so a whole lot to go through, a whole lot of great fun. So Autumn Sonata, sorry, getting very distracted. Autumn Sonata is a foreign film, but definitely go watch it, definitely worth your time. And then a couple days after that, I went into The Inspection, which comes to us from A24. A24 is obviously a great studio. The Inspection is another one of the A24 films that's more experimental a little bit, and The Inspection is an interesting movie. I get what they're trying to do with The Inspection, but they're not doing exactly a good job with it. I had a lot of high hopes for it too, but it doesn't deliver as much as I want it to, unfortunately. So The Inspection, I gave it 3 out of 5. If you want to watch it, sure. If you want to just have a little bit of a taste of the movie, you can go for it. It's pretty much about a gay guy who goes into the military and has a hard time with that. That's pretty much the entire movie. So yeah, if you want to watch it, go for it. But it didn't exactly hit for me, unfortunately. Then after The Inspection, I really decided to start going through the Fast and Furious movies. I've been doing a lot more of car photography. I started shooting on film this year, which is very fun, very cool little process. And in turn, I decided to start shooting more car photography, which is very fun. So I decided, hey, let me get some inspiration here to watch Fast and Furious. A whole lot of fun. So yeah, I watched Fast and Furious 2001, then Too Fast, Too Furious, Tokyo Drift as well, and then Fast and Furious 2009 in like one weekend, which is very scary, but it's definitely worth it. But definitely all these films I do enjoy a whole lot. My favorite one, I think, is definitely the first one by far. It's a whole lot of fun, a great story, great characters, definitely just very cool. Then Too Fast and Furious, also fun. Tokyo Drift is just goals. I want to go to Tokyo right now, immediately. Then Fast and Furious 2009 is a little bit underwhelming, very boring, but it's kind of whatever. Then that same day, I watched Gladiator 2. Didn't do a review for it because I didn't really want to. Gladiator 2 is definitely, I think, one of the better films of the year, but the best way to describe it is just unnecessary. Doesn't mean it's exactly bad. It does have a little bit of low points in the movie, but Gladiator 2, the best way to describe it is just purely unnecessary. It didn't need to happen. It's cool. I enjoy it, but I didn't exactly want it at all. It's kind of like if you're at dinner, and dinner is so good. Dinner is very full and refreshing, but yet they decide, hey, you want dessert? No, I really don't want dessert at all, actually. But you know what? Here you go. Here's the dessert here with Gladiator 2. And, the dessert isn't exactly bad, but I just didn't really need it. It doesn't really complement the first one that well at all. It is feel kind of a bit forced to do this film 20 years after the original movie. So, Gladiator 2, I say definitely go watch it, but, don't be surprised if you're a little bit upset by it. As I go into my 2024 year in review and also my Oscar, what I think is going to win exactly, I'll talk about this movie more as we go into that side of things. But for now, Gladiator 2, is it worth your time? Sure, I'd say yeah, depending on who you are. I personally give it a 4 out of 5, but you may give it 2 out of 5 for all I know. Then that very next day, the 25th of November, I watched King of Comedy, Martin Scorsese. Enough said, it's a classic, it's incredible. I want to watch this again. Martin Scorsese might have just edged himself into top 5 territory for me. This one is just so good. Once again, like I said before with Autumn Sonata, him just kind of effortlessly making a great movie like this one is just massively impressive. And I love watching films like Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, King of Comedy, and seeing just how much people take from all of his old films and apply it to modern day. It's just so impressive. It's so much fun seeing the impact of film after all these years, seeing it all develop and grow and expand, even after 1962. Sorry, no, that's wrong. It was 1982 when this film released, and people are still taking away from it. That's just massively impressive, and I love it so much. And then the next day, I watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind because I hate myself a little bit. This one's sad, it's great, but it's also very sad, easily. Eternal Sunshine, a top 5 romance for me of all time, and one that if you haven't seen already, I don't know what you're doing. Watch it right now. And then after Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, I watched a little film called When You Finish Saving the World from Jesse Eisenberg. Came out in 2022, A24 film as well. And this movie is, I think, very impressive, yet it also doesn't do a whole lot. This film definitely has a whole ton of potential, but it doesn't really take advantage of any of it at all. I definitely understand it. It has a great theme, great message, great story, but yet I still was kind of yearning for more from the movie. I think it should have been maybe a little bit longer or maybe structured a little bit better, but still, the bones are there. The bones are very good. And like I mentioned before, When You Finish Saving the World, directed by Jesse Eisenberg, he has a very bright future as a director. I think he did a great job with the movie. He definitely has a great vision, a lot of great sauce to use. We have to listen to him because he definitely has a lot of things he wants to say with these movies, which are very good. Then also, which came out this year as well, is called A Real Pain. I haven't seen it quite yet. I don't know if it even released quite yet, but A Real Pain definitely did get a lot of great reviews over at Sundance and TIFF as well. So I'm definitely excited to go see that. Has, like I said, a lot of great praise right now. I think maybe I've already came out in a very small limited release, but still, I gotta go see that one. Jesse Eisenberg has a lot of potential. He definitely has a bright future, so keep him on your radar. I'm going to bet stock on him very early because he's definitely going to pull off. So When You Finish Saving the World is definitely not the best movie, but still, I recommend it. It was a whole lot of fun. Definitely a whole lot of great acting as well. So definitely go watch it. Maybe a little bit cringy, a little bit corny, but still, definitely worth it. Then that next day, I watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding from 2002, which is actually Thanksgiving. I'm sorry. Watched it on 28th. Thanksgiving, watched for me was My Big Fat Greek Wedding, which was a 4 out of 5. It actually was very good, surprisingly. Never saw it before, but still, whole lot of great fun. It isn't exactly like a top 10 romance of all time, but it is definitely a very charming one. And then that same day, I watched My Old Ass, a 2024 release here that came out, and it is definitely very mid, very annoying, very not good. I wouldn't exactly recommend it, but if you want to watch it, go for it. Aubrey Plaza's in this one. She's always great and everything. But the movie has an 8 out of 10 concept, but a 3 out of 10 execution. It's just not good. It's not all there yet. It's not all developed. It needs a little more time in the oven. Definitely feels very underdeveloped, very underbaked. The film essentially is about a girl who kind of has somehow come into contact with her future self, and her future self is giving her advice from the future to the past. So yeah, like I said, 8 out of 10 concept, but the execution just isn't quite there yet. It doesn't take advantage of anything at all, which is very sad. But The film is still kind of cool, but unfortunately, 3 out of 5. So you can watch it if you want to, but you have been warned it's not quite good. And then that same day on the 28th, I went ahead and watched It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Both these movies, certified hood classics. I didn't get a chance to watch A Great Pumpkin last month for October, so I decided, hey, I'll just squeeze it in here a little bit, and it's definitely going to be very fun, which it was. Also, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is, a cult classic. If you haven't seen it, I'm convinced you might not be alive, because I think that everyone in their life has seen at least one Charlie Brown film, because they're all just incredibly iconic. And then for these last 2 watches of the month, I watched Kung Fu Panda 4, which was very corny, very just bad. It wasn't a good movie at all, which I'm not surprised by at all, but still, I just wanted to think this off of the watch list here. And Kung Fu Panda 4, I didn't see it in theaters, and now I can safely say I didn't really miss much at all. The movie just did not do anything. It isn't exactly, I'd say, a disgrace to the franchise, but still, it feels like a very kind of misstep to what could have been in this trilogy for this film. Doing a No Way Home style Kung Fu Panda movie has just heaping copious amounts of potential, but yet it doesn't really take advantage of anything at all besides Tai Lung, and even then, not in a good way at all. Just very bland and boring, and I'm not really a fan of it at all. Villains mid, just everything not good, not really there at all. Don't watch it. You didn't miss much at all, so just don't even worry about it. But what you definitely can watch and have a lot of fun with is my last watch of the entire month here, which was Fast 5 2011. This is my second favorite Fast and Furious film. Number 1 is definitely the first one from that early 2001. Yeah, Fast and Furious 2001 was the best one. Second best is definitely Fast 5 2011. Both are peak, but, Fast 5 is a very close second. Well, with that out of the way, Fast 5 is the last film of the month, and that wraps November for 2024. A pretty, I guess, kind of interestingly solid month. A very mix of definitely very different things, which was very weird, but, still, we're moving on. 365 in a single year is definitely very attainable. I'm still on that grind for that. I'm definitely want to chase that and see that in my letterbox. I'll be very happy about it. And as for episodes for December, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I have a full December schedule I'm looking at right now. We're doing the Polar Express next week, which will be very fun. Week after that, I'm going to do Charlie Brown Christmas. And then the week after that, I might do Rise of the Guardians. I'm not sure. I'm definitely still thinking about it. So a lot to think about. But for December, it's a very stacked December. We're looking at Mufasa. We're looking at Nosferatu. We're looking at that one Timothée Chalamet biopic he's doing this month as well. There's just a whole lot of great movies this month. A whole lot of great things to look forward to, which I can't wait to go into. Of course, I definitely do recommend that wherever you're listening on right now, having those little post notifications on could definitely be essential, because there's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to have to dive into this month with Nosferatu, also Wallace and Gromit dropping this month as well. Whole lot of things to go into this month, which is going to be very good, but still, can't wait for all of them. Can't wait for it. It's going to be a great, incredible month to end out the year that I'm very excited for. Until then, of course, you can definitely follow us everywhere. Letterboxd, Instagram, Twitter, X, my bad. Definitely is a whole lot of fun everywhere that we are. I try to post, but I'm kind of inconsistent, but still check us out on those. Until then, of course, stay swagged out, stay cool, watch more films like every single day, and of course, I'm your slogan. I'll see you boys in the movies.